There's one point in the film where they say, well, if you were going to build a table, you would build it out of the best conceivable materials to last it the longest amount of time. But it's just clearly not true. I mean, it's not even close to true. What if you're building a table for a tree house that you know your kids are going to get bored of in 2 months?
You know, I can't help but shudder at either the deliberate straw man or the lack of critical comprehension in the belligerent response that I've just heard here. What we're dealing with is the cost efficiency mechanism, which he doesn't bring up. The cost efficiency mechanism demands that profit is gained at all walks of production and distribution. In order to do so, you have to keep limiting your resources intrinsically to remain competitive in the market model.
Um, Maybe I get this wrong, but there's not only competition made in just the quality and the amounts of resources you put into a certain product. The product can be either service or it can use no resources at all. Like services itself, you can build, indeed, you can build a great table from which is durable and lasts for centuries. My grandma has her entire house furnished with that stuff. Only the wood is scarce of which it is made, and therefore there is a price to it. And indeed, there is profit to be made from either way. You can make profit out of a cardboard table if you want it. It will not be durable, but it will be extremely cheap. Um, the reason why those tables cost more money is because the resources are hard to get. Also, personal taste come in order to make this profit. If I don't if I don't like that kind of wood, I'm not going to buy it, even if it's durable, even if it lasts me a lifetime. If I don't like it, I'm not going to buy it. Therefore, I will not um, buy this certain couch, this certain table, this certain closet, whatever. So that is competition. Competition is more than just getting the best resources out there and getting the best durable product out there, and people will always buy that product. No, there are multiple individual movers working within the market system. Personal taste is a really underestimated mover within the market.
Therefore, regardless of your intent, regardless of anything, you can't produce the best. If you want to strategically make something for temporary usage, which we do already, such as plastic forks and things like this, then fine. That's a particular strategy for a particular usage in respect of his treehouse analogy. But if you want to make something that lasts, if you want to have preservation, you want to make a computer system that can be updated strategically, where you can exchange parts in a way that's easier than what you do today, where you don't throw out entire computer monitors because they're outdated, where there's a protocol of recycling, where there's an intrinsic environmental awareness to produce the most long-lasting, durable goods when that is the interest, which is the majority of the time, then you cannot have a market system, period. There's no way in a system based on cost efficiency, you're ever going to have the best goods of anything. It is an intrinsically wasteful system. And his defense here just makes me laugh because it avoids the entire question explicitly.
Well, then I'm not going to avoid it. If you buy something from a store, let's say a computer, which is state of the art, really cheap because there is a lot of competition and a lot of people entering the market with new technology and new inventions. Let's say you buy it at a store, you pay a really small fee so that if the store takes it, so the store will take it back and dismantle the thing and reuse the metal, reuse the plastic, reuse the circuit board and stuff like that, and have that kind of recycle system. Oh wait, that wouldn't work in the market? We already have it in the market. It's already within the market, so I don't know what you're talking about. About what technology is concerned, it's interesting you brought this up, like, say, a computer monitor. Let me give you a short example. So here's a computer from 30 years ago. This one is not upgradable. And why is it not upgradable? Because the technology at that time was not in an advanced state as it is today. You cannot forecast what technologies will be here in 10 years. Okay, people then were ecstatic to get this yellow screen and to be able to get maybe a couple of thousand commands within a processor.
in 1 second. They couldn't even comprehend that the disk space on this computer would in 10 years fit in the size of fit in a thing the size of the tip of a needle compared to this computer. They couldn't comprehend that at that time. Therefore, technology cannot be upgraded without the waste, absolute waste of resources. What you are telling is absolutely physically and, well, IT wise impossible and totally ridiculous. You cannot comprehend what kind of technology we have in 10 years, let alone within 100 years. If you would perpetuate this kind of system and upgrade it till infinity, you would have disk spaces gathering all the resources in the world in order to upgrade it. This is preposterous. Now, this is the technology we have today. And why do we have it today? The free market system, or not even the limited marketed system we have today, can deliver this kind of stuff. Not because it's the best for humanity, because that will be the old computer and still be using it today because it can do anything you want. It can go with the internet and write documents and stuff like that. It serves its purpose. But in order to get to this kind of technology like we have today, and the technology we're in an age where we are even trying to think of quantum computing, your proposal is, sorry to say, with all due respect, is preposterous. This is what a corporatist society can come to when only a couple of allowed competitors on the market are competing against each other for the best kind of product that consumers want. Only the thing that you don't take into effect with Zeitgeist and with the Zeitgeist movement and the Zeitgeist world, or the resource-based economy, is that what do people want? The only system that can anticipate what people want and successfully make a new technology that people want and make it into a success is the free market system. Because if you start creating things at random that people do not want but yourself, you would waste a ton of resources. If you try and get a market system in place where consumers say what they want, and a producer produces it because the consumer is unable to produce it, or maybe doesn't have the knowledge to produce it, this is what brings technology forward. I have a good processor, but I want a faster one. I want to have more input at the same time. Well, then there is a market for it, and people are allowed everywhere around the world to try and create this kind of technology, and you get something from it. So there's another incentive to do that because there is a business in it. The Zeitgeist movement, if you're taking into consideration that you have to upgrade things to the extent of infinity, or maybe even, well, more years than expected, you would stagnate technology. You would hold it back severely. And this is my beef with the technology issue, because you cannot upgrade and you cannot anticipate what technology will be invented tomorrow. This is impossible. The only way that a consumer or that a user would get the best technology possible is within a free market society. And then I mean a totally free market society where every individual can compete and has the ability to compete, or at least the opportunity to compete with any other technology on the market. This is what Linux demonstrates, and this is a free market system that that allowed Linux in the first place.
Central planning will never, ever work. And I will take an argument from a central planner if that central planner or those who advocate for it have effectively dealt with a number of